is considered a victim before the ICC?
Victims are persons who have suffered direct harm to themselves as a result of any crime of the Rome Statute. Those who have suffered indirect damage are also victims, due to direct harm suffered by their close relatives or other victims who witnessed, tried to help, or tried to prevent the commission of a Rome Statute crime. Harm may include physical injury, emotional suffering, economic loss, social harm, such as stigmatization, or a substantial impairment of fundamental rights, for example, if someone is unable to continue their education. Victims may also be organizations or institutions that, as a result of a Rome Statute crime, suffered damage to their property dedicated to religion, education, the arts, sciences, or charity, and their historical monuments, hospitals and places and objects with a humanitarian purpose.
What are the rights of victims before the ICC?
Victims have the right to participate in criminal proceedings and to request reparations. These are two different aspects. Victims can participate in a procedure by presenting their own points of view and concerns to the judges through their lawyer. The victim's decision to participate is voluntary and free, but the request for participation must be analyzed and approved by the judges of the court. For more information on how to participate as a victim, you can write to the following email address: vprs.information@icc-cpi.int. In addition, victims of a case can also seek reparations if the accused person is found guilty. Access to reparations does not depend on participation during the criminal process. The court will only order reparations at the end of a trial and only if in relation to crimes for which the accused has been convicted. If a victim wishes to request reparations, they can ask for the corresponding form by writing to the email address mentioned above: vprs.information@icc-cpi.int.
What can victims request when participating in a criminal proceeding before the court?
Once a victim has been authorized by the judges to participate in a particular stage of the ICC proceedings, the court must keep them informed of any developments in these proceedings. Victims have the right to have a counsel or lawyer, also called a legal representative. Victims have the right to ask the court to take all possible measures to respect their safety, well-being, dignity, and privacy in the course of their participation in the process. For example, victims can ask judges to order that some of the information they provide in the application form not be communicated to the prosecutor's office, the defense, or the public. To date, the court's practice has been not to make public the identity of the victims. ICC judges decide when and how victims will be able to exercise these rights, ensuring that victims' participation does not interfere with defendants' right to a fair and impartial trial.
How does the court engage with victims, communities, and civil society?
As has been said, victims have rights before the court. To exercise these rights, they first need to be informed about them. The Public Information section of the court establishes communication channels between the ICC and the affected communities by the crimes under investigation. This section also conducts programs aimed at making the court and its judicial proceedings accessible to the general public. Once victims are informed about their rights, the Victims' Participation and Reparation sections of the court supports them with their requests for participation or reparations in ICC proceedings. This section also gives them support to obtain legal advice or a lawyer. When it comes to reparations, In case of conviction, the Trust Fund for Victims provides assistance with the implementation of reparations orders issued by the judges of the court. In addition, the Trust Fund for Victims delivers, in collaboration with local partners, assistance programs for victims, their families, and their communities, including mental health, medical interventions, and material support.